What if the veil between our world and another isn't as impenetrable as we think?
Mm,
What if there are whispers from beyond just waiting to be heard or seen? Echoes, maybe,
mm.
or something else.
Yeah, exactly. That enduring human fascination.
Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into that world, the captivating, sometimes, well, chilling world of ghosts and demons.
That's right. And for this deep dive, we're really aiming to go beyond, the usual sensational stuff you see.
The Hollywood versions.
Totally. We want to systematically unpack the distinct definitions, the surprisingly rich histories,
Mm-hmm.
the specific tools and methods people use when they, well, seek out the unknown.
And the psychology behind it all, too, right? How we perceive these things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Plus, the critical ethical considerations, which are maybe the most important part when you're exploring, well, the unknown.
Our main guide for this big exploration, is a really detailed book. It's called Whispers from Beyond, an in-depth exploration of ghost hunting and the art of demonology by Shawn Armstrong.
A fantastic resource.
And our mission today, basically give you a comprehensive shortcut, help you get really well informed about the history, the methods, the nuances of these fields, because they're often misunderstood.
Definitely. Get ready for some maybe surprising facts. Those aha moments that might just challenge how you view the unexplained.
Moving you from just being curious to hopefully having a real understanding.
So let's start right at the beginning. Foundational stuff, definitions. It's easy to just lump everything supernatural together, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
But Armstrong's book really hammers home the critical distinctions between ghost hunting and demonology. And, crucially, between ghosts and demons themselves.
That feels like a vital starting point. So ghost hunting, we hear that phrase all the time, right?
Yeah.
Conjures up images.
Flashlights in dark corridors.
Exactly.
Mm.
But at its core, as Shawn Armstrong explains it, it's really the practice of investigating places, locations rumored to be haunted.
With a specific goal, documenting evidence, empirical evidence if possible, of paranormal activity.
So less about the thrill chase, more about systematic inquiry, like detective work almost.
In a way, yeah. And what's really interesting is how it pulls together different threads. You've got folklore, deep-seated beliefs,
Mhm.
then psychology, how our minds work, and even attempts at, scientific method.
It's a weird intersection, isn't it? Belief meets inquiry.
Yeah, trying to make the intangible, well, tangible, or at least recordable.
And the goals aren't always just about finding proof, are they? Armstrong mentions other things.
Right. Documenting evidence is key, obviously. But it's also about trying to understand why these things might happen.
Providing closure, maybe, for people experiencing weird stuff in their homes?
Exactly. That's a big one.
Oh.
Or just validating someone's personal experience, something they can't explain conventionally. Imagine living with that.
Yeah, it must be unsettling.
So a ghost hunter might aim to bring some clarity, maybe some peace.
And these investigations, they often happen in specific kinds of places, right? Not just anywhere.
Typically, yeah. Sites known for eerie histories, maybe tragedies, abandoned buildings, old hospitals, historic homes.
Places steeped in local legends.
Precisely. The location itself provides context, a narrative, helps form hypotheses before you even start. It's not random.
Okay, so that's ghost hunting. Kind of like digging into lingering human echoes.
Good way to put it.
Then demonology. That sounds, well, different, more intense.
Definitely a different beast. Demonology is the study of demons or beliefs about them. It covers a huge range of topics related to the malevolent side of the supernatural.
So less about a specific historical site, maybe. More theological.
Often, yeah. It focuses on understanding the nature, the characteristics, the behaviors of demons, how they might interact with our world.
And crucially, how to deal with them. Confront them.
Exactly. Methods to confront, repel, or even exorcise them. So it's not just academic. It has very practical applications in spiritual contexts.
Like exorcisms, protective rituals, things aimed at safeguarding people.
Right. Protecting individuals or places from what's perceived as demonic influence.
Right. And it draws from everywhere, doesn't it? Religion, folklore.
Oh, yeah. Religious texts, folklore, psychology, theology, even anthropology, how different cultures view evil. It's incredibly interdisciplinary.
A holistic look at malevolent forces across history.
Which brings us right back to that fundamental distinction Armstrong emphasizes. What is the difference between a ghost and a demon?
Because they're not the same thing at all.
Not according to these definitions, no.
Mm-hmm.
Their nature, origins, intentions, drastically different. And that shapes how you'd approach them.
Okay, let's break that down. Ghosts first, typically seen as, what, lingering spirits?
Yeah, sentient entities, spirits, visiting or stuck here after death, usually portrayed as souls of individuals tethered to Earth.
Unfinished business, traumatic death, emotional ties.
All of the above. Reasons they can't quite move on. Think of like a historical figure whose story feels incomplete, or maybe someone you knew.
And their nature. Often not necessarily evil, maybe just sad or confused.
Frequently, yeah. Benign, neutral, maybe tinged with nostalgia or longing. They tend to evoke sympathy, intrigue, not usually outright terror.
Armstrong is the example of Hamlet's father's ghost in Shakespeare.
Right. Not a malicious entity trying to cause chaos. It's a tortured soul seeking justice for betrayal. It drives Hamlet's whole moral struggle.
Or those Japanese yurei, spirits with unresolved issues.
Exactly. Often tied to a place or person, a lingering presence, not inherently aggressive, but definitely affecting.
Okay, so ghosts, potentially human echoes. Now demons, stark contrast.
Very stark contrast. Demons are almost universally seen as malevolent entities. And here's the key. Their origins are not tied to human souls.
Ah, okay. That's a big difference.
Huge. They're often depicted as having a malicious intent, aiming to manipulate, corrupt, actively harm humans. It's not your great Aunt Mildred popping by.
No, something else entirely. Maybe an opposing force.
That's often the framework. Their essence transcends the human experience. Embodiments of chaos, corruption, evil.
And they prey on human weakness, fear, despair.
That's the typical depiction. Exploiting vulnerabilities. Think of Lamashtu in Mesopotamian culture.
The one threatening childbirth.
Yeah, embodying real, tangible threats. Or, in literature, Milton's Paradise Lost. Satan and his crew actively trying to corrupt humanity.
So this distinction, it's crucial for how you'd engage.
Absolutely fundamental. Ghost hunting tends to be more exploratory. Curiosity, documentation, like historical research.
While demonology requires a more serious, maybe defensive approach.
Exactly. Often spiritually charged. Because of the perceived malevolent nature and potential dangers, one's an investigation, the other can feel like a confrontation.
Okay, that distinction is clear. Let's shift gears now and walk through history a bit. How did we get here? These ancient roots of spirit interaction.
Oh, this is fascinating. Because the belief in spirits, it's incredibly ancient and widespread.
Not just a fringe thing back then.
Not at all. In places like Egypt, Greece, Mesopotamia, spirits were integral to the natural order. People genuinely believed they influenced daily life, for good or ill.
So, in Egypt, that profound belief in the afterlife.
Immense. Led to incredibly elaborate burial practices, mummification, massive tombs, all for the Ka spirit.
Making sure they were okay.
Exactly. Ensuring a safe passage, a comfortable eternity, rituals, offerings, prayers at tombs. It was common practice, not just honoring, but appeasing.
And they had people who acted as go-betweens, mediums.
Yeah, mediums and priests, bridging the gap between living and dead. It's a direct echo of modern attempts to connect with spirits.
And the Greeks, they had oracles, right? Like Delphi.
Famously, used for prophecies, spiritual guidance that influence state decisions, personal lives.
And Armstrong mentions necromancy, too. Not like in horror movies, but...
Right, formal rituals, aimed at summoning spirits of the dead for counsel, for knowledge. It shows a surprisingly systematic approach to contacting the departed.
laying groundwork for later ideas.
Absolutely. These early beliefs, they set the stage for structured religions, for ancestor veneration practices that still exist today. It shows this enduring human quest for connection with the unseen, millennia old.
Then we move into the Middle Ages. Big shift in perception, yeah. Largely due to the church.
Huge shift. And a real dichotomy emerged. Ghosts were seen either as souls trapped in purgatory, needing prayers, or as demonic entities, outright malevolent.
And the church often pushed that demonic angle.
Often, yes. Armstrong subtly points this out. The church held immense power, spiritual and political. They frequently interpreted spirit sightings through a lens of fear, suspicion, linked them to malevolence, divine displeasure.
A form of social control.
You could argue that. By positioning themselves as the arbiters of spiritual safety, through things like exorcism, they solidified authority, amplified fear, controlled belief and behavior.
Which led to specific rituals, not just for souls in purgatory, but for casting out demons.
Precisely. These were effectively the ghost hunting methods of the time, conducted with solemnity, often fear. Clergy, sometimes lay people, used prayers, holy water, sacred objects.
It's essential spiritual protection.
That was the belief. And Christianity, specifically, heavily influenced medieval demonology, framed demons as fallen angels in this huge cosmic struggle, good versus evil.
With humanity caught in the middle.
Exactly. which led to widespread fear of possession and fueled the terrible witch hunts, with horrific consequences for those accused.
Then, the Enlightenment arrives, a complete change in thinking.
A massive intellectual and cultural shift. 17th, 18th centuries, emphasis on reason, empirical evidence, skepticism. It fundamentally altered the approach to the supernatural.
Rationality takes center stage.
It really does. Things once explained by spirits or demons, now scrutinized through a rational lens. Ghost studies shifted from folklore and religion towards systematic inquiry.
Observation, documentation, trying to validate or refute claims.
Exactly. Asking, can we prove this? Measure it. Replicate it.
And for demonology, how did that change?
Equally profound impact. Things once blamed on demons' mental illness, unexplained behaviors started being viewed through psychological or sociological lenses.
So literal belief in demons declined for many, became more metaphorical.
For many, yes. Evolved into interpretations of demons as symbols of internal struggles, societal fears, the darker side of humanity.
Then the 19th century rolls around, and we get spiritualism, big cultural movement, right?
It's huge. Especially in Europe and North America, popularized belief in direct communication with spirits of the dead, usually through mediums.
People claiming they could connect with the deceased.
Yeah. And this wasn't just a fad. It reflected a profound shift in attitudes towards death and the afterlife, especially amidst the upheaval of the Industrial Revolution.
Lots of change, loss, grief, people seeking comfort.
Desperately. Urbanization, war, disease, unprecedented loss. Spiritualism offered reassurance that loved ones persisted.
And seances became important, those formal gatherings.
Incredibly significant. They formalized the search for contact, provided comfort, solace, community, offered alternative explanations for life after death, giving people hope.
Armstrong also points to some key figures and texts that really shaped these views. Heinrich Kramer.
Ah, yes. Infamous co-author of the Malleus Maleficarum, The Hammer of Witches, 1487.
Chilling title.
And a chilling book, often called one of the most destructive misogynistic texts ever. It codified ideas about demons, witchcraft, the supposed alliance between witches and evil.
Became the handbook for witch hunts?
Pretty much. Detailed instructions on identifying, interrogating, torturing suspected witches, framed them as malevolent, justifying persecution, execution, established legal precedents that led to tens of thousands of deaths. Horrifying.
But then, in contrast, you have Reginald Scott.
Yes. The Discovery of Witchcraft, 1584, a groundbreaking critique for its time, directly challenged those prevailing beliefs.
How so?
Scott argued that accusations often came from vendettas, misunderstandings of natural events, or psychological issues, not actual pacts with the devil.
Advocated for a more scientific, rational view.
He did, debunking many common assumptions. His work, though suppressed initially, foreshadowed the decline of witch hunts and laid groundwork for Enlightenment skepticism, a voice of reason in a fearful time.
Okay, so that brings us more towards the modern era. Let's talk practicalities. Ghost hunting today. What does it really involve, according to Armstrong? More than just a flashlight.
Oh, way more. Preparation is absolutely key.
Starting with research. Knowing the location.
Meticulous research. You need deep insights into the history, reputation, any emotional or cultural stories tied to the place.
Why is that so important?
It helps form hypotheses about what might be happening, why it might be happening there. Identifies patterns reported over time. Context is everything. If it's an old asylum with a known tragedy.
You approach it differently, with more sensitivity, maybe specific questions.
Exactly. And safety, paramount. Research isn't just for spooky stories. It uncovers real physical hazards.
Unstable floors, bad air.
Right. Or areas known to cause disorientation, unease. This dictates the gear you need. Helmets, first aid, and how you plan your movements. Team safety first.
And team dynamics matter too.
Yeah.
Having a lead investigator.
Crucial. Someone to guide focus, make decisions, prioritize tasks, keep communication flowing. They need analytical skills to synthesize evidence and people skills for sensitive interviews.
Not a solo mission then.
Rarely effective or safe. Teamwork enhances problem solving, provides emotional support. It can get intense.
Okay, preparation done. Team ready. What about the gear? The Ghost Hunter's Toolkit. EMF meters seem standard.
They are. Electromagnetic field meters, they detect fluctuations.
It come from lots of things, right? Wiring, appliances.
Everything. Natural sources, too. The theory among hunters is that spirits might draw on or manipulate these fields, cause spikes or dips.
So you establish a baseline first.
You have to. Then pinpoint anomalies. But, and Armstrong stresses this, the real skill is debunking every conventional source first. ruling things out, not just jumping on a reading.
Process of elimination. Makes sense. What about capturing voices, EVPs?
Electronic voice phenomena. Using digital voice recorders, aiming to capture sounds or voices not audible to the ear during recording.
How does that work? You just ask questions into the dark.
Pretty much. Ask questions, then leave silence for responses. Later, you meticulously analyze the recordings for unexplained sounds. Whispers, words.
And sometimes they seem to respond directly.
That's the compelling part. When an EVP seems to answer a specific question. But it takes immense focus to analyze, avoid hearing things that aren't there. Pareidolia.
Right, the brain finding patterns in noise.
Exactly. Results can be ambiguous, need unbiased analysis.
Then there are cameras, full spectrum and thermal.
Yeah, offering visual data. Full spectrum captures light beyond what we see UV, infrared, potentially revealing things like spectral forms, orbs, weird light patterns.
Thermal, that's about temperature.
Detecting temperature variations, cold spots. The idea is spirits might draw energy, causing a localized temperature drop. Thermal cameras visualize this in real time.
But again, caveats. Drafts, animals.
Huge caveats. Environmental factors are critical. Drafts, ambient temp changes, animals, electrical interference. All can cause false readings. Calibration, vigilance, corroborating with other evidence essential.
What about motion sensors and these phasm lights?
Motion sensors detect physical movement, infrared changes, EM field changes, potential spirit activity, but also crucial for safety, alerts you to unexpected movement.
And the phasm light does two things.
Yeah, illuminates dark areas, but also detects light intensity fluctuations, sudden dimming, flickering, thought to indicate interaction. So visibility and detection.
Okay, lastly, the controversial stuff. Spirit boxes and Ouija boards.
Yeah, common tools, but surrounded by misconceptions. Spirit boxes rapidly scan radio frequencies, creates white noise.
And spirits manipulate that noise to form words.
That's the theory. Pulling sounds from the airwaves, impressing their own voices, allows for supposed real-time communication. Can be eerie.
And Ouija boards, flatboard, letters, planchette.
Right, used to facilitate communication. Movement often attributed to the ideomotor effect, unconscious muscle movements.
But movies portray them as gateways to hell.
Exactly. Popular media sensationalizes them. Inherently evil, dangerous, leading to possession. Armstrong strongly refutes this.
Says it's mostly fiction.
Primarily, yes. A product of sensationalism. The board is a tool, like many others. It often taps into subconscious movements via the ideomotor effect.
So the outcome depends on the user. Intent, mindset.
Heavily. Approaching it respectfully versus fearfully makes a huge difference, Armstrong argues.
Okay, so you're on site, gear running. What are the best practices during the investigation itself?
Environmental observations are critical. Meticulously checking baseline EMF, temperature, sound levels.
Why? To rule out the normal stuff.
Exactly. Faulty wiring, drafts, echoes. You must distinguish between mundane phenomena and potentially unexplained occurrences. Rule everything else out first.
And keeping a logbook, that sounds fundamental.
Absolutely essential for safety and analysis. A comprehensive record. Who's where, what activities, safety checks, every observation.
Invaluable for emergencies and for credibility.
Both. And for communication, improving safety over time. It's the official record in a field often viewed skeptically. Professionalism matters. Then, analyzing all that data you collect.
The real detective work.
Right. Systematically recording everything allows for deeper analysis. Identifying patterns over time, across locations, maybe things not obvious initially.
And doing it collaboratively, discussing findings as a team.
Essential. Combines different perspectives, skills.
Yeah.
Enhances interpretation, validates findings, mitigates personal bias, which is easy to fall into.
Encourages critical thinking, questioning assumptions.
It has to. And ultimately, a well-kept logbook, cross-referencing data, control measures, peer review, that builds authenticity, differentiates serious investigation from just, thrill-seeking.
Okay, we've covered ghost hunting in detail. Let's switch back to demonology. Confronting malevolent entities, as Armstrong puts it, a different landscape.
Very different, and often more serious, yeah. Demonology is the systematic study of demons. Classification, characteristics, impact on people, for society, understanding evil itself.
Not just human echoes.
Right. And the definition has evolved hugely over millennia, from ancient spirits like Lamashtu causing actual illness to complex fallen angels in monotheistic faiths, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and now modern psychological or folkloric interpretations too. It's deeply ingrained.
And cultural views vary wildly.
Massively. Mesopotamian demons, often tangible threats. Physical well-being, crops, Christian demons, more about moral challenges, spiritual warfare, testing faith. These differences shape the whole approach.
So how do demonologists identify a demonic presence? What do they look for?
Typically, a combination of factors, marked behavioral changes, sudden aggression, personality shifts way out of character.
Physical stuff, too. Things that can't be explained.
Sometimes reported, yeah. Levitation, unnatural strength. Also, often a strong aversion to sacred objects or symbols.
And these are interpreted within specific frameworks, cultural, religious.
Always. The goal is to understand the why, the perceived motivations, the vulnerabilities being exploited. It's contextual analysis rooted in tradition.
Which brings us to exorcism. The purpose is basically removal, expulsion.
Primarily, yes. Removing or expelling a perceived malevolent entity from a person, place, or object. It's an ancient practice found across many cultures.
And it varies a lot depending on the tradition.
Absolutely. Christianity, especially Catholicism, has formal rites, specific prayers, holy water, invoking divine authority, like in the Roman ritual.
But other traditions use different methods.
Oh, yeah. Chanting, herbal remedies, shamanistic practices, purification ceremonies, each tailored to their own spiritual understanding.
Armstrong also touches on the psychological aspect. It's not just spiritual.
There's an undeniable psychological dimension. While addressing spiritual affliction, the ritual itself can be powerful psychological intervention, providing comfort, catharsis, relief.
The belief in it is powerful.
Incredibly. Can bring a sense of liberation, peace, regardless of your own perspective.
But there are societal implications, too, potential downsides.
Definitely. While it can strengthen community bonds, give a shared defense against evil, there's risk. Misdiagnosing mental or physical health issues as possession.
Can lead to stigma, lack of proper treatment.
Tragically, yes. Neglect of medical care, even severe trauma. It's a serious ethical tightrope.
And the media portrayal of exorcisms, often very dramatic.
Violent, highly sensationalized, explosive manifestations, chaos. Armstrong emphasizes that reality, especially with responsible practitioners, is often far more subdued.
More controlled, ritualistic.
Yes. Focused on prayer, peaceful persuasion, divine authority, often private. Responsible practitioners insist on ruling out medical or psychological causes first.
Beyond exorcism, there are also protective rituals, or proactive.
Exactly. Creating spiritual barriers, safeguarding individuals, invoking positive energies or deities for help, cleansing spaces, personal energies.
And these go way back, too. Ancient civilization.
Deep roots. Egyptians, Mesopotamians. Rituals to appease gods, seek protection from misfortune or illness believed to be caused by demonic forces, a long-standing human effort to feel spiritually secure.
Which leads perfectly into the human element, how we perceive all this. It's not just about what's out there, but what's inside us.
That's a huge part of Armstrong's argument. Our perception is incredibly subjective.
We interpret things, weird noises, flickering lights through our own lens. Beliefs, culture, psychological state.
Totally. What one person flags as paranormal, another rationalizes instantly. Our internal frameworks dictate so much.
And belief systems act as filters.
Powerful filters. Believers are more likely to see the paranormal in ambiguity. Skeptics actively seek conventional explanations. Classic confirmation bias.
Our emotions play a big role too. Stress, grief.
Significantly. Heightened emotions can make us more susceptible. Someone grieving might interpret a breeze as their loved one. The mind seeks solace, connection, projects those needs.
And cultural background shapes everything.
Immensely. Provides the framework. Indigenous cultures might see spirits as revered ancestors. Western contexts might dismiss the same experience as psychological.
Narratives reinforce this. Stories, media, religion.
Constantly. Think of Japanese ghost stories conveying moral lessons. Religious practices frame and interpret experiences within a spiritual context.
Which makes distinguishing paranormal from psychological so critical.
Absolutely vital. To avoid misattributing mental health issues to supernatural causes. That blocks proper treatment, support.
Things like seeing apparitions, hearing voices, could be schizophrenia, anxiety, sleep paralysis.
Exactly. These have known psychological or neurological bases. Misinterpreting them as paranormal can be genuinely harmful.
And culture impacts how that's handled. Stigma versus medical help.
Yeah, in some cultures, supernatural explanations lead to stigma. Secular societies tend to prioritize medical psychological routes, leading to better interventions usually.
Media often ignores the psychological reality, though. Sticks to sensationalism.
Frequently. Reinforcing misconceptions, making it harder for people with real symptoms to get appropriate help, blurs entertainment and reality.
What's really insightful is Armstrong's own perspective, a self-professed skeptic with a forensics background.
Yeah, crime scene forensics, criminal justice, private investigation. Brings a very practical, methodical
And
lens.
he's skeptical
And
because
they're
no definitive proof.
pretty much. Paranormal investigation relies heavily on theory, speculation. No ghost has been demonstrably caught or volunteered for testing. It's circumstantial,
So he avoids saying, this house is haunted.
definitely. Prefers phrases like substantial evidence of anomalies or keep on file for further review. Emphasizes revisiting locations, trying to replicate findings.
And his big pet peeve is lack of standard procedures. SOPs.
Huge one for him. Inconsistent protocols mean findings can't be replicated, validated scientifically, leads to skepticism from science.
He thinks investigations should mirror each other. Time, weather, room order.
Exactly. Control the variables as much as possible to strengthen integrity.
But why did he even get into this field if he's such a skeptic?
Personal experience. As a kid in a very old farmhouse, he'd hear loud, distinct voices in his room every night, same time.
Wow, that would be unsettling.
Right. He wanted to understand, avoid thinking he was going crazy, led him to join a paranormal team, a personal quest for rational explanation.
And he shared that debunking story, moving knickknacks and voices.
Yeah, classic example. Knickknacks moving. Vibrations from a nearby railroad track. Voices in the kitchen. Next-door neighbors. Open window.
The perfect illustration of finding simple explanations first.
Exactly. Rigorous, rational investigation often yields mundane answers.
Okay, let's touch on some notable cases, then wrap up with culture, tech, and ethics. These stories really ground the concepts.
They do. Like the Whaley House in San Diego, built on former gallows land. Dark history.
Investigations report temperature drops, apparitions.
Consistently. And EVPs responding to questions, reportedly, like a fate yes.
Yeah.
Its history plus these findings fuel its reputation.
Then Amityville, almost a household name for horror.
The DeFeo murders set a grim stage. Then the Lutz family reported terrifying experiences, cold spots, noises, apparitions that get out command.
And Ed and Lorraine Warren got involved.
Yeah, their investigation solidified its place in lore. Media attention, books, films exploded into a cultural phenomenon, blurring fact and fiction.
What about the Screaming House from Ghost Adventures? Lots of alleged activity.
Generated huge interest, yeah. Voices, sounds. But critics pointed to mundane explanations.
Like the house just being old. Creaks, drafts.
Structural integrity, yeah. Even mold, which can affect perception, and the power of suggestion, especially on TV. Important reminder to consider all angles.
And we can't forget fictional examples like Hamlet.
Absolutely. King Hamlet's ghost isn't just a plot point, it's a catalyst. Symbolizes betrayal, morality, life, death. Shows how these ideas resonate deeply, even in fiction.
Popular culture's influence has been massive, hasn't it? Shows like Ghost Hunters.
Transformed public perception. Made it seem more professional, methodical. Inspired loads of local groups, online forums.
Boosted credibility, but also commercialized it.
Both. Raised questions about authenticity versus entertainment sensationalism. A double-edged sword.
Social media changed things too. Less stigma, global community.
Definitely. YouTube, TikTok, amateurs share findings easily. Blurs lines between pro and casual. Enriches perspectives, but quality varies hugely.
And technology keeps evolving. AI, better cameras.
Potential future directions. AI analyzing vast data sets for patterns. High-def cameras, thermal, audio, providing unprecedented detail. Even phone apps now offer basic tools.
VR for training or experiences.
Being explored. But tech brings ethical concerns too. Manipulating evidence. Consent issues with VR recreating trauma. Exploiting fear for profit. Big questions.
Which brings us to ethics. The ethical compass in this field, absolutely paramount, right?
Couldn't be more important.
Yes.
Especially when dealing with sensitive, personal, profound topics.
For ghost hunting, respecting locations, histories, immersing in the narrative.
Essential. Approach with sensitivity to the emotional weight, the cultural significance, and prioritize preservation, no damage.
Consent and sensitivity towards people involved, listening, providing a safe space.
Actively listen, non-judgmental environment, aware of psychological impacts, clear communication, explicit informed consent, especially in private spaces, absolutely critical.
Emotional safety for everyone, discussing triggers, having support protocols.
Top priority. It's not just fun and games. It can be deeply impactful. Need a safe space for fear, anxiety. Need protocols to handle distress.
Integrity, too. Approaching spirit communication seriously, not as entertainment.
Avoid misrepresentation. ensure well-being. It's not trivial for those seeking real understanding or relief.
And cultural respect is non-negotiable, acknowledging diverse beliefs.
Absolutely. Spirits as ancestors versus malicious entities. Influences methods. Avoid imposing your own views.
Engaging local communities, respecting their stories.
Vital. Collaborating enriches the experience, shows commitment beyond just investigating a site.
And sensitivity to historical trauma, sites of suffering.
Acute awareness needed. Battlefields, prisons. Honor the past, don't exploit suffering.
For demonology, the ethics are maybe even more heightened. Education over sensationalism.
Key, prioritize scholarly texts, credible sources, get nuanced understanding, not just dramatic portrayals.
Informed consent, absolutely paramount. Respecting autonomy, sensitive belief.
Always. Clear explanations, risks, alternatives. Full understanding before any involvement.
Critical thinking essential. Guarding against bias. Contextualizing evidence.
Even more so, don't jump to conclusions. Analyze rigorously within broader frameworks.
Respecting complexities. Demonic means different things across cultures.
Crucial. Avoid harmful stereotypes born from misunderstanding.
And basing conclusions on sound research methods, not just anecdotes.
Rigorous methodology ensures honorable research, contributes to credible insights to a misunderstood field.
So we've journeyed through ghost hunting and demonology, history, tools, psychology, ethics.
Unearthing the roots, the methods, the human lenses, we view it all through.
We've seen how distinct they are. Ghost hunters seeking human echoes, demonologists confronting something else entirely.
And underscored that critical need for ethics, skepticism, but also open-mindedness.
As we keep advancing, scientifically, technologically, and as pop culture dives deeper, what does this ongoing quest really tell us about ourselves?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Does our fascination point more to actual spirits and demons out there? Or maybe, more profoundly, to the depth of our own human psyche?
Our fears, our grief, our need for meaning.
Our endless curiosity about reality itself. What lies beyond the veil we perceive? It leaves you wondering, doesn't it?